So, Coach, why did you start volunteering to coach basketball in the first place?
Well, as I said earlier, got involved simply because my kids were becoming more involved in recreational sports,
Yeah.
and it gave me an opportunity to spend time not only with my kids but with other kids.
Yeah.
That was the primary reason, and I picked the sport of basketball obviously because basketball was responsible for so many things that happened in my life growing up as a little boy in the old village. We
Yeah.
didn't have access to uh, recreation facilities such as my kids did.
Yeah.
I learned how to play the game of basketball in my backyard with a dirt floor and a rack hang up in the back. And then as I got older, I ventured out to the playground by the sweet shop, and after that, the rest of it was sort of like history, you know.
So, the organized basketball part of your life, you picked up a basketball. Do you remember the first team that you played on?
Well, the first organized team that I ever played on was in high school,
Yeah.
simply because uh, we didn't have access to the recreation department
Mhm.
as it exists today. We learned how to play the game uh, on the basketball court by the sweet shop.
Yeah.
Uh, at that point in my life, in the 50s and the 60s, uh, blacks didn't have access to the community center. And
Yeah.
our center was on Royal Avenue near the sweet shop, and that's where we played. So it wasn't like organized. It was just like, hey, you get together and let's
Yeah.
play the game of basketball.
Play some pickup.
Hey, pick up games. You call your own fouls,
Yeah.
and but you know, I didn't spend that much time out there simply because my mom was very strict.
Mhm.
We had to be in the house, or I had to be in the house at a certain time. And
Yeah.
the general rule was don't let the street light catch you outside. And so, and so and I was very obedient to my mother.
Yeah.
Uh, my God bless her soul. My mother uh, was almost like my older sister
Yeah.
because my mother had me when she was 14 years old, had my
Yeah.
sister when she was 13.
Wow.
So she was like an older sister. She only had like a seventh grade education, but she probably was the smartest and wisest woman I knew, period.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, and she was a loving person, a giving person. And I
Yeah.
think that's where I get a lot of that from
Yeah.
because I care about people. I care about young people. And in my career, has always been dealing with people.
Yeah.
And the 46 years that I put in at the College of Charleston as an administrator, it was always providing service.
Yeah.
Where I started uh, in financial aid and veterans affairs, and then I went to student affairs, then I went into admissions, and then I went to the athletics department.
Yeah.
It was always providing service to someone,
Yeah.
and and I lay my hat on that simply because I like to see people happy. I
Yeah.
really do,
Yeah.
and that made me happy from within when I could help somebody. And there's that old saying, you help people now because you don't know when you're going to need help along the way as well. And I believe in that. And of course, you well know that I'm a man of faith,
Yeah.
and so are you. And I could just remember the days uh, in the playground and the rec league. I can remember the days at Wando High School, and I can remember David C. And not only that, now you gonna have to stop me because I can go when I get
That's
started.
okay. You go.
And I remember vividly your family.
Yeah.
Your family was one of a kind.
Yeah.
You
I
had a great
appreciate it.
mom, great dad, great sister. And the thing that I loved about the Seas is the Seas didn't see color.
Yeah.
And that's the way I raise my children never see color,
Yeah.
see
Well, that's
people for who they are and what they are. It's just like reading a book.
yeah.
Don't just look at the cover, open it, find out the contents of the book, and then you can judge the book.
Yeah.
And you do the same with people. Get to know someone before you judge.
Yeah, well, I know my parents absolutely love you. You know, my father, of course, is since passed, but he held you in very high regard. And for me, it was very interesting because I'm very blessed that I come from a strong family. But outside of the home, it's a little bit like rolling the dice on the type of mentors that you subject your children to. So I
Mm-hmm,
look back on it, and now that I've got children that are in college and aging out of the house, and I look back and I realize what a blessing it was. And my father even said this that he believed me at home, but he wasn't a basketball player, right? So he's
mm-hmm,
not going to coach my teams for that. He didn't know the game. And it was such a blessing to meet you and other people like Terry Lee, of course, to give me some guidance. And those lessons on the court where you think you're only learning on the court, you're not just learning on the court. You're
right.
learning things that transfer off the court,
Mm-hmm,
the little things that people don't realize when you coach a basketball team, the way we'd walk in to get a team meal, the way that the coaches would say, all right, we're going to go in here and we're going to behave. And you're going to get on the bus in orderly fashion. You're representing your families, you're representing Wando. When a young man hears that, you don't realize that until you hear it because
mm-hmm.
you're like, oh, yeah, I'm away from my parents, so I'm going to have fun. But you guys kept us in order. And so that teaches, I think, a cadence of respect out into the community. So I appreciate that. I know my mom and dad appreciate that as well.
Well, let me tell you something. Having manners and respect for others will carry you a long way in life,
Yeah.
and people can see that in uh, young people such as yourself. But there's a big question mark today
Yeah.
with the young people for me,
Yeah.
because even with my grandchildren, they know that granddaddy is a disciplinary,
Yeah.
and granddaddy not want you to come around him with your shirt tails out of your
Yeah.
pants halfway down your butt.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that.
No.
Simply because as I mentioned to you earlier, my mother was strict.
Yeah.
My mother would always tell me, you could be guilty by association. If you wanted to hang out on the street corner, and you may be a good guy, but if you're hanging out with bad guys, you're going to be identified as a bad person. So
Absolutely.
I never hung out, you know. And I'll tell you the same story that I told my boys and my daughter. They used to call your daddy a square. Why? Because I wouldn't hang out. I wouldn't do the drinking or the smoking, this and that, and I'd be in the house on time. Hey, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still do the same thing. I don't hang out. When I go out, I go out. Uh, when Mrs. German was here, I go out with Mrs. German. Now Mrs. German is not here, and I have a companion. I go out with my companion,
Right.
and I continue to treat everybody with respect and dignity.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. My pillars of life has always been you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
You talk to them the way you want to be spoken to.
Yeah.
And above all, let's respect one another.
Yeah. The golden rule never seems to go out of style, even though it comes across differently at times. But coach, take me back to when you were entering high school, because something that I learned at the dedication, which was amazing. And by the way,
Thank you.
we have the dedication, the whole thing loaded up. Anybody can watch that on the
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel. It's a wonderful thing. I highly recommend people watch it. But at the dedication, you went into Moultrie High School, which is Moultrie Middle now, and African Americans could not play basketball. Is that correct? How did you get on that team?
Well, put it to you like this. When I entered Moultrie in the fall of 1965, how did I get there? Well, Lang
Hmm.
was the all-black high school, and started a high school then started in eighth grade, not junior high for black kids.
Okay.
And I tried out for the basketball team, and this would have been 60, well, 64, and got cut.
Wow.
And it was a lot of guys my age that played the game. Let me back up a little bit. I'm not explaining this the way it should be explained. Back in the old days, the old village produced basketball players, and the guys that live in the rural area were football players as it connected to land.
Okay.
So when we got up there, it was about eight of us that tried out. Only one got picked,
Mm-hmm.
and he got picked based, in my opinion, on legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, and so I wanted to play, and it didn't look like I was going to get that opportunity at Lang.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they exercised this freedom of choice that we could choose between Lang and Moultrie, I chose Moultrie.
Okay.
And when we got there in the fall of 1965, we were told that you have a week to make up your mind and go back to Lang. Everybody that was on that bus that morning after a week returned to Lang except seven of us. And I was one of the seven that stayed.
Wow.
And it was extremely difficult simply because we were treated as if we were intruders,
Yeah.
and it was a hostile environment in the sense that people would tell us, go back where you came from, you don't belong here, so and so and on. And so I went through that sort of stuff for about 2 years, and I tried out my first year. I wanted to try out my first year, and I was told there was like an attendance policy that you had
Yeah.
to be at the school at least a year before you could participate, blah, this, blah, that. So accepted it. And that made me discouraged. And I said, well, the heck with it. I'll just get my education and move on. And it wasn't until my third year at Moultrie that I got in Coach Jim Kaiser's PE class.
Yeah.
And he saw my athletic skill set and ability. And he said, I don't care what they say, you're going to be on my team. And that launched it. And then after I got on the basketball team, attitudes changed. And that's why I always told you guys that sports have a very unique way of bringing people together. And when you
Yeah.
put on that uniform, you become one.
So attitudes changed in what sense? The attitudes of acceptance got better?
Acceptance, right? Acceptance. And I'm glad you asked that question because when I went to my 50th high school reunion, I had people who didn't speak to me, tapping me on the shoulder, asking me if I remembered them.
Wow.
And likely so. I said, no, I don't. Why? Because you didn't speak to me.
Right.
The only people I really had that I remembered were the cheerleaders and my teammates. They spoke.
Yeah.
And so when I got home later that night, David, we had the email blast because that's how they were communicating with all of us. And I just typed, where was the love displayed tonight 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Understand one thing. We were all going through the same thing, adjusting to each other. But bear in mind, it was 7 people that looked like me and 1,500 that looked like you.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
you even had some teachers that was telling us we needed to go back. We can't learn, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah.
Right.
But that's the gravity of what I had to go through. And not knowing that it was going to prepare me to accept another challenge when I left Moultrie
Right.
to the College of Charleston. It was basically, it wasn't as difficult at the College of Charleston simply because I've already been through that experience. Uh, and this is why I continue to tell my children and my grandkids, racism is taught.
Yeah.
It's not inherited, it's taught.
Yeah.
And my parents always taught me to see people as individuals, period.
Yeah. And that's an interesting perspective that your parents would teach you that when you're on the short end of the stick the whole time,
Yeah,
the way they're
and
treating you in the
and my
community.
mother was a warrior too,
Yeah.
because she knew what was out there. And at that time, when I made the team at Moultrie, I was the only black on the team.
Yeah.
And my senior year, that's when Josh Gadson uh, came on board as one of the athletes in my senior year,
Yeah.
the other black athlete that was on the team. Yeah,
Mhm.
but it was a rewarding experience for me. It made me and taught me how to not treat people
Yeah.
simply because, and you know, and to this day, if I had to do it again, David, I'd do it the same way.
Yeah. It's
Not,
interesting
not
too
just
because your talent on the basketball court. Um, so did all seven of the African Americans that were with you, did anybody else of the seven play basketball?
no.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because you're talented and then you're being recognized for your talent. And so you become just naturally more popular on campus
Hey,
because
they might have been smarter than me in the classroom. But I held my own in the classroom.
yeah,
I wasn't a dummy. I
yeah,
got my schoolwork. The only thing that got to me was Miss Bell's French class. Miss Bell sent a note home to my mother, said he don't pass this exam, and he ain't playing no ball. And my mother had, once again, a strict rule: no
yeah,
grades, no play.
yeah,
So I had to buckle down and pass that final in French class. So I got it done. I
yeah.
got.
How's your French today? How's your French
Oh,
today?
I don't even speak a word of French. And then when I got to the College of Charleston, to me French was hard. So I said, well, okay, I'll try Spanish. Oh hell, I mean, I'm not a bilingual person. I'll just
Right.
put it like that. You know,
So
I,
when you were
I,
finishing
I
Moultrie, did College of Charleston come knocking on your door looking for you to come play basketball there, or did you go there on your own?
oh no, my mentor, Fred Daniels. Fred Daniels came to my door,
Okay.
and I got a lot of in my senior year. I got a lot of form letters. I could tell everybody I got a ton of those.
Yeah.
And but Daniels was in my home recruiting me,
Wow.
and he said, "I would tell you something, Otto." He told me this years ago. He said, "I didn't recruit you. I recruited your mother."
I can
She said,
bet. I bet your mom was a hard sell.
"Yeah." She recruited. He recruited my mom.
Yeah.
All right. After the low country lower state championship, we played Dillon at Moultrie and lost the game by 12 points. The next day, Mr. I think his name was Fuller, my guidance counselor. I wanted to go to an HBC, and I wanted to go to the one 75 miles from Charleston at South Carolina State.
Yeah.
So I went. I had the academics to get in, and then we wanted to see the head basketball coach. Head basketball coach refused to see me.
Wow.
His name was Ben Job. And later, Ben left South Carolina State and took a job in the NBA with the Denver Nuggets. But Ben said they don't recruit kids from the Low Country.
Wow.
Uh, I thought Orangeburg was part of the Low Country, you know. So I went back and told my mom, and my mom said, "Well, guess what? You're gonna go where you are wanted."
Good for her.
And that was the College of Charleston. So
Yeah.
it was a no-brainer after that. But I guess Ben thought that I wasn't good enough. But at that time, I was the third leading scorer in the state, and I was the Low Country Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And and I had made honorable mention All American in just 2 years of playing high school basketball.
Yeah.
But I wasn't good enough to play at South Carolina State.
It's funny how when doors close that you really want to be open for you, it turns out to be a better outcome in the long run. So
Oh,
when you
without a
got to
doubt.
the College of Charleston, um, what was the composition of blacks and whites on the team when you showed up on day one to play ball?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the composition of blacks and white at the school.
Yeah,
You could count the number of blacks at the school
really.
on your two hands.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the composition of the team, Remus Harper was the lone black on the team. And then it was me. Then there was another guy who tried out as a walk-on. His name was Henry Collins from the old Charleston High School. It doesn't exist anymore. It used to be a high school on Rutland Avenue.
Yeah.
And so Henry ended up making the, well, no, he didn't make the team that first year. He made it the second year. Uh, Matter of fact, I'm sitting up here right now looking at a College of Charleston photo from my sophomore year, and then the composition changed. We now had three African American players on the team: Revis Harper, Otto German, and Charlie Hunt.
Wow.
Charlie, God bless him, he passed away about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, and also understand, David, in 1969, the doors for blacks wasn't open until 1967. So
Yeah.
you're looking at acceptance again
Yeah.
because it was short-lived, short-term. Uh, we were making adjustments, they were making adjustments, but then it wasn't as difficult at that level because it wasn't 1,500 students.
Right.
At the College of Charleston, when I entered the College of Charleston, total enrollment was only 445.
Yeah.
A small, private, very white school that was on the verge of not reopening simply
Yeah.
because of the decline. And Ted Stern, in the spring of 1970, January of 1970, that's when the College of Charleston became a state-supported institution.
Mhm.
And everything just sort of like mushroom. It
Yeah.
started its growth path. And so Ted Stern, Fred Daniels, Willard Silcox, and Tony Meyer. I call those four guys the four horsemen of the College of Charleston,
Yeah.
simply because they accepted black students with open arms. They were responsible for integrating the College of Charleston.
Yeah. Wow.
And and later that year, beginning of my sophomore year, is the first scholarship team that the College of Charleston put on the floor. And the first recruited scholarship player was Sherwood Mahler out of Somerville High School.
Wow.
The first recruited scholarship player to enroll at the College of Charleston.
So as college is coming to a close, what career path were you thinking that you were going to take?
Well, to be honest with you, I changed my major. Uh, I was going to school to be a business major, but my love for the game and love for children,
Yeah.
I changed my major to elementary education
Wow.
with an emphasis in math. And so I was engaged with our young people when I did my practicums and I worked at the Cannon Street Y,
Yeah.
with kids. So it all got started when I changed my major to elementary education.
Yeah. So what did you do when you first came out of school as a career?
Well, I got hooked up with my uncle who was a contractor because that was part of the game plan of being a business major. Because I had two uncles that were carpenters.
Okay.
I was going to go to school and learn the business,
Right.
and we were going to build this fantastic contracting business, and uh, and I worked with my older uncle for about a month, and the pay wasn't worth it,
Yeah.
and that's when I decided to start looking for quote unquote a stable job.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that is simply because Tehran was already here. Tehran was born a month before I graduated from the College of Charleston.
Okay.
And Mrs. Sherman and I had plans. We got married in September, five months after Tehran was here. And I needed stability to take care of my family.
Yeah.
I went back to the College of Charleston. And they had openings. And so I applied for a job in Veterans Affairs and financial aid, and and got that job. And that's how my professional career at the College of Charleston started.
Wow.
And I was the director of Veterans Affairs and assistant director of financial aid. And I did that for about maybe 5 years. And then I moved into student affairs, did that for about 7 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. And then from there, I went to the admissions office and stayed in admissions for 13 years. And then from admissions to the athletic department, where I spent 28 years.
Yeah.
Made that total of 46 years of service at the College of Charleston.
Wow.
Bear in mind, all of the positions that I had was service oriented to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But then again, when I said, when we talked, what I mentioned about racism a little bit earlier, that's a double edged sword because I experienced it not only from people who didn't look like me, but people who look like me,
Yeah.
especially when I was in the financial aid office.
Right.
It was almost as if they didn't trust me or didn't
Right.
want me in their business or this and that. But then I said, how idiotic is that? You don't want me in your business. You're in my
Yeah.
office. You leave your application. I have access to it.
Right.
But you know, but I never did that. See,
Yeah.
because those people didn't understand what I always label as professional code of ethics.
Right.
I'm not going to talk David Seay's finances with somebody
Right.
outside of my office.
Right.
It's not how it works.
Right.
Once you apply, your information is confidential, at least with me. I
Yeah.
can only give an account for Otto German.
Yeah.
I didn't discuss stuff like that outside of my office.
Well, and you have a great moral compass. You always have. I mean, it's been pretty obvious on there. But what do you think we need to be doing today, to because it seems that we get further and further away from that. But what are you telling your grandkids these days, when they actually have the mind to listen? Because sometimes kids want to listen and sometimes they don't. But what would you say is like the top few things that you could leave with them that they would understand this is the most important information we ever got out of our grandfather or our coach or whoever? Like what are you seeing? You mentioned earlier.
Well, it goes back to what I said earlier, what my mother passed down to me with regards to how do you how do you treat people?
Mhm,
Because in order to be respected, you got to give respect.
mhm.
So it goes back to how do we treat people?
Right.
Because that's very important. And another signature statement that I've been making when I go out to talk and talk to my mentee that I mentor tomorrow when I go to school. If the world today could be seen through the eyes of babies, it'll be a better place.
Oh yeah.
It'll be a better world. Simply
Yeah.
because, David, babies don't see color.
Yeah.
And when I told my kids the story when we used to take them to the pediatrician doctor, and we're in the waiting room, and they were on the floor playing, boom, 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 and then we'll have white parents to come in and pick their kids up. Didn't want them to play with my kids,
Yeah.
but that was okay. You
Yeah.
know, they got the problem. I don't have the problem.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't have the problem because that's not the way I'm gonna raise my kids. I'm gonna
Right.
raise my kids to respect others.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm gonna share an experience with you right now. I've been living in this house for 39 years. Be 39 years in June.
That's great.
39 years. I got a young white couple that's renting the house next to me.
Yeah.
David, do you? Those people don't even speak to me.
Really?
They don't even speak to me.
They don't know what they're missing, coach.
They got 5 children,
Wow.
young children, and I think they're of the Catholic nation.
Yeah.
When they moved in, I went over
Yeah.
and introduced myself.
Yeah.
I'm your neighbor.
Yeah.
I love my neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't care what the color you are.
Yeah.
I got a guy that just moved in about 6 months ago. Tom and I get along fine. Across the street, Walt Walt has some issues, and every time Walt falls in the yard, who's there to pick him up?
Yeah.
I got a retired school teacher who taught at Wando. I don't know. You might know her. Maybe it was Miss Buck. She used to do substituting at Wando, but maybe not. But she's across the street. She's a black lady, but she's flirting with dementia.
Yeah.
Calls me all hours of the night to
Yeah.
tell me something she already told me 3 times before.
And I'm sure you're just as nice to her every time.
Yeah, but patience is a virtue of life, son.
Yeah.
And and I'm getting up there in age. I'm 75,
Yeah.
but I, value me.
Yeah.
I'm very particular about what I put in my body.
Yeah.
Like when I go to the doctor said, "Damn, man, you look good." So what are you doing? I said,
Yeah.
"Well, I follow your lead."
Yeah.
When the doc my on my last physical, my doctor was very very pleased
Great.
because on my last prior to this physical, he said you need to lose about 25 pounds
Yeah.
so I can get you out of this pre-diabetic status.
Right.
He said you lose the weight, this goes away. So
Yeah.
now I was like at 237. That's the heaviest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
So now I'm down to 215.
That's good for
And,
you.
and I want to get down to 200.
Yeah.
But then I don't want it to be a bad looking 200. So that's why I go 6 o'clock every morning.
Good for
Six
you.
o'clock Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Good for you.
I'm at the senior citizen pumping iron on the
Yeah.
bike, and it, you know, and so just like I told my primary care doctor, I want to see you 4 times a year,
Yeah.
not when I'm feeling bad,
Right.
because I want to get in front of things
Yeah.
rather than be behind. So,
Yeah.
so if any health issue pops up, I'm in front of it and we can deal with it rather than being behind it where it might be
Absolutely.
too late.
It's
And
growth or
that's
it's growth
why,
or decay. Growth or decay, you know?
yeah, and that's why I did what I did yesterday to get the calcium scoring
Yeah.
to see if there's any calcium buildup in my arteries.
Yeah.
Because I want to be here as long as I can for my children and guys like you.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
know?
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Are you doing any active mentoring now? Did you say that you were mentoring someone?
Oh yeah, yeah. Over at Mitchell Elementary, it's a young man that is very, very bright, very articulate, David. But but he's seen too much too early,
Yeah.
and that that's problematic for me. But right now, through my church and if the church brother doesn't come through, he likes soccer, and I've already talked to Ralph Lundy
Yeah.
about picking him up pro bono and letting him go
Yeah.
to soccer this summer.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
I'm on the reward system with him because he does have sometimes a little behavior problem,
Yeah.
and it's a situation where he gets caught throwing that second punch,
Yeah.
uh, displaying anger, and
Yeah.
the conversations that we have. I said, you can't be doing that. You can't put your hands on people.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You
Yeah.
have to pull back. And I'm trying to teach him something that my mom taught me. Easy is better than hard.
Yeah.
It's easier to walk away from a situation, from a bad situation. And if you walk away, yeah, they're going to call you names.
That's right.
Well, you're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah. And I think it today it's we probably expect young people to be perfect, and we all know that. I mean, I'm not perfect as a grown man, and even the children, they're going to make mistakes. I think it's about when they do make mistakes to help them understand what they did wrong so that
Mm-hmm.
they don't make the same mistake and then it becomes a habit or a pattern. Um, and I think, I want to applaud you for that. And I think it's great that you're still mentoring. I think you were mentoring a lot of people that you didn't really know that you were mentoring. That was the theme that came up that day was that
Yeah,
I'm sure you were overwhelmed about just how many people gave you
big
that
time,
feedback. Yeah.
big time, big time. It was fun for me and dealing with guys like you, my boys, Scotty, uh, Barbara Coleman,
Yeah.
Terrence Alston, uh, Emery,
Yeah.
Mile. It was rewarding. And then even in the recreation league, Trip,
Yeah.
Hugh, David Butker,
Yeah.
you know, that was just fun for me. It was like me being a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
For me, teaching you guys the game. And the thing that I loved about you is you became a student of the game.
Yeah.
And you might have been undersized when you played, but you had the big heart and you paid attention to detail. You took advantage of your opponent's weaknesses, and I'd like to think I taught you how to do stuff like that. Because I always encourage you. You can get it done. You can do it.
Yeah.
And when I look at your book, The Hustler, The Hustle,
Yeah.
and that's David C. because
Yeah.
you were like, hey, this kid's hitting the floor, this kid's hitting the board, and see, and the way you played tough defense, and it made offense easy for you.
I still quote that when I was coaching a lot of my kids. It was good defense generates easy offense. That's what we used
Bingo,
to
bingo.
say.
You
Nothing better than a
remember it.
fast break basket.
Yeah, you remembered it verbatim because that's what I used to tell you guys. Tough defense generates easy offense. Hey,
Yeah.
I'd rather shoot a layup as
Yep.
opposed to a jump shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, because the higher percentage shot is going to be the layup.
Yeah.
The lower percentage shot is going to be the jump shot. Now, but nowadays, I really don't like looking at basketball now
Yeah. Well,
because
it's interesting because you don't realize it when you're young, but it's not like you're playing to be the coach's pet or the teacher's pet, but what you're trying to do is you want to please a coach that's invested in you because you are like, that makes a lot of sense. And this person is pulling for me. This person actually wants me to be successful.
mm-hmm,
And so it unlocks this, it's hard to explain it. It unlocks this motivation inside of you. I remember many a times in the gym, and I was a dedicated gym. I knew I wasn't the best athlete on that court, but I would be the first guy to show up and the last guy to stay. And for me, I'd see people's faces in my mind when I'm training. Like I'd see Terry Lee's face or your face, and like these guys are going to be impressed with the work that I'm putting in the off season.
mm-hmm,
And it always paid off. And then I would be the one that would get the benefit of it.
right.
I mean, being on all conference teams, I would have never imagined I could have ever gotten on all conference teams if you
You,
would have
you,
told me
you,
that.
your hard work paid off.
Yeah,
And see the thing about you too, and I used to always tell Coach, give me five guys that want to play defense.
yeah.
You know, because Terry loved to run that 100 defense.
Oh yeah,
Give me five guys that want to play defense.
yeah,
Because we ain't worried about the offense. Because
yeah.
if we play tough defense, offense gonna be easy.
It was, and we had some very, very wicked full court presses back in the day when we would
Oh,
run the
without a
100,
doubt, man.
even the 50 trapping. You could see guys falling apart when they ran into that. That was the best part, is the quick turnover, and
Oh yeah.
it was a fun generation of basketball. I mean, I think about it often, just how blessed I was to have so many good mentors walking in front of me. But to be very fair, I see your face first, and can't thank you for the contribution that you made, not only in my life, but in the lives of other people. It has extended well beyond your own children. It's extended
Mm-hmm.
out into people my age, people younger than me, older than me. It's extended into the community. And I was so proud of you the day that they dedicated that gym. It's well deserved, and my opinion, it should have been named after you a long time ago.
Well, I thank you, my friend,
Yeah.
my son, my adopted son. Let me tell you something. That day, one of my teammates, I don't think I shared this with you. One of my teammates, whom I hadn't seen in almost 50 years, came up to me and said, Otto, I can't stay for the dedication, but I had to come to see you. And I said, what's up, man? He said, I just got to tell you something. He said, you, you know, we've all done some good and some bad in our lives. And I said, that's a fair statement because none of us are perfect.
Yeah.
And he said, I just have to tell you this. I said, what? He said, well, one of the bad things that I did in my life was against you. He never told me what it was. And my response was, I said, hey, that's water under the bridge, man.
Yeah.
Move on with your life.
Yeah.
That's water under the bridge.
Well, good for you for freeing
Yeah,
him of whatever
you
he had in
know,
his mind.
that may have been eating at him for such a long time. And I admired him for coming out and just saying, "Hey, this is something that I did that I'm not proud of." He never
Yeah.
said what it was,
Yeah.
and I said, "Well, hey, move on, man.
Yeah.
Move on. We're adults now." And that's why I keep saying to any and everybody when we talk about the word racism,
Yeah.
it's taught. It's not inherited. It's
Yeah.
taught.
Yeah.
And I teach my kids and my grandkids see people as individuals and deal with them as individuals.
Yeah, and I've always felt that from your family, all of your children, your beautiful wife. Um, just she would love up on me on game day just as much as anybody, and so you truly are a testament to that.
Yeah, but you know something, David? Your parents did a damn good job with you too.
Well,
Did a good job.
they had a tight rope, and I'm glad that they had that. It made me a better man, and I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
Um, but they love some auto German.
But you're blessed in so many ways. You know, you're a successful businessman, lovely family. Hey, it's all plus.
It is. I
It's
mean,
it's all pluses when you do it with integrity and do it the right way. It's all
well,
pluses.
as God's blessed me,
But
I wake
then,
up
but
every
then, but
morning and tell
then,
him thank you.
but
So
see, one of the things I know you're a man of faith. I always remember this, Dave. When you walk with God, you're never walking alone.
it's so funny you say that. I went yesterday and went to a business and they had the footprints poem on the. That's such a powerful poem. It's
Hmm.
very old and most people know it, but you're right. You're never walking alone when you have faith in your God and keep trying to do the right thing. I mean, I'm going to bump my knee all the time,
Hmm.
but to keep coming back to that reminder, it really has eased a lot of anxiety and stress and blessed me more than I deserve for sure. And I think
Well,
you know that as well as anybody.
hmm hey, I truly have been blessed because I've been in throughout my career. I've been in some tough situations,
Yeah,
and then even as a professional at the College of Charleston, I've been put into some difficult situations as an administrator. But
yeah,
guess what? I ran that compliance department, Dave,
yeah,
for 28 years.
yeah. Wow,
25 of those 28 years, I didn't even have a secretary.
wow, wow.
And yes, we had some minor violations, and that's expected.
Yeah,
But we never had a major infraction
right.
that brought negative coverage to the College of Charleston
Yeah.
in my 28 years.
No, you did a great job. And I mean, just what we talked about earlier, I can only imagine how hard it is to have college athletes. I mean, even now, especially today, but back then, they're away from their families, they're heroes on campus, they're stars, they've been brought in there. To think that there weren't more mistakes is a testament to you because it's not
Well,
like they're making the best decisions in life, right?
hey, the way I ran that department there at the beginning of every year with the coaches, one statement: if you got the cheat, you don't need to be here.
Yeah, 100%.
We're gonna do it the right way.
Yep.
And if you feel as though you made a mistake, I'm gonna tell you the same thing that Judge Sanders said to me when he appointed me as the first NCAA compliance coordinator for the College of Charleston. If you fumble, I'm the only one can help you recover.
That's true.
And that's what I told my coaches.
Yeah.
So don't be fearful of me. If
Yeah.
you made a mistake, come see me so we can fix it. And that,
Absolutely.
hmm?
Absolutely. Everybody makes mistakes. And I
Yeah.
think,
I said,
making a malicious mistake is
right.
is different than making an unintentional mistake.
And dealing with the high profilers, well, we did it this way at so and so. I said, well, guess what? You're at the College of Charleston, and this is how we do it.
That's exactly right. Well,
Yeah.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for your time. We're going to find a way to do some stuff together.
Yeah. You
I'm looking
golf?
for. I will
You
get back into golf for you.
I need somebody to golf with.
We
My
will.
brother is the golf pro out of Charleston National,
Okay.
and Terry is so particular. I said, man, just let me hit the damn ball. I said, all I want to do is hit the ball, and
Well,
then maybe my athleticism would kick in and da da da. But he got, you got to grip it this way and all of
yeah.
that. I said, man,
Well, my son wants to get into golf, so when he comes home this summer, maybe we can get out there with him.
yeah. But my brother is a great teacher.
Yeah,
He's got some of his students that are playing college golf now.
I love it.
So check him out. He's
I
good.
will. Hey, thanks
Okay.
for making time. I'm going to share this with people. A lot of people are going to want to see this, and then you and I are going to stay in close contact.
Okay. Please do. Take care, my
Thanks,
brother.
Coach. Thanks for all
All
you've
right.
done for us all.
Yeah. Bye bye.